in pub. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are here today live on Filmmaking with. We have Dylan that has a couple announcements, but as soon as we're done with that, we'll be moving on to the movie of the evening and then the interview of the evening. So, Dylan, the floor is yours.
Okay, so quickly, there is a sale on My Mini Factory for the Dalen miniature for 65% off if you want that. And there also is a discount of 20% off on our merch on Teespring. So if you want to get a Shadow of the Conqueror shirt or a Diratia production shirt, these are 20% off. So
Damn, nice.
So you can get one now, Francis. They're now affordable enough for you.
Yeah, I'm so poor, you know. Okay, so the movie of the night, The Lady in Black from Spencer Keller.
Yeah, so I've been Squatch calling about 25 years now, and I know that
how they know what a Squatch sounds like if they ain't never seen a Squatch before?
Probably because Squatches don't exist. It's just a guy in a monkey suit, if you ask me.
it all adds up.
You gonna be there tonight?
I don't know. We'll see.
We have another setting down there in Bremerton.
You know, actually, have you go and pick me up at Mike's Hard. If not, go to that gay bar first.
Shut up. You'd like that, wouldn't you?
Hey, I'm just kidding, man. We'll see you soon, right?
See you.
I tensed up my...
Did you forget something? Ryan? Okay, man. Very funny, I get it. Okay. Okay, that's it. Okay, I get it. That's enough, Ryan. Okay, Ryan, you're gonna break the door. Ryan. Please stop. I'm serious, man. Hey! What was that? Will you explain that, please? I'm serious, man. Ryan.
Well, hello again. Hello, Emilio Valdez. How are you, man? Good to have you again on the show, like always. Hi, Spencer Keller. How are you?
I'm good. How about you guys?
We're doing good.
We're doing great.
So before I jump in with the regular questions, I have one really good questions. Questions. Yeah, I put that in the plural. Yeah, one really good question, which is why was he so scared of following his friend? Because like if I would have been freaked out like that, I would have actually been happy to see him come in.
I think there's like some whispering in the background that comes in. It's like at first there's relief and a little bit of annoyance, like, okay, why were you messing with me like that? And then he walks like straight to the back, kind of out of character, and then the whispering comes in and he's like, never mind, I don't think that's actually him. Okay. So yeah.
Okay, I probably just didn't heard the whispering the first time then. And since now I didn't have the sound.
I was hearing it very loud in my ears.
Okay. Okay, good. You mentioned a lot of small details, Dylan. What were you talking about?
Well, I was talking about all of the details that there are in the background in the warehouse, where I'm like, even if she was there in the scene, I don't know if I would be able to spot her, because there's so much stuff that I'm like, oh my god, she could be hiding anywhere. Uh,
Okay.
I don't think if I was the guy, I would just have walked slowly. I would think I would have gotten out of there pretty quickly.
Yeah, we shot that one at my grandparents' place. My grandpa has a shop, and I just always end up shooting my movies out there because they're always down to have me come out there and shoot. It's like a big property, and so we ended up shooting that one out in his shop.
Okay. Yeah, it's a pretty creepy place.
Yeah, no, it's like 1 a.m. and it's just pitch black out there outside the shop, so it's a little bit eerie because it was super small casting crew and stuff too. So.
And the main actor, is he like actually a real comedian in life, or because he has the face of a comedian? Like he looks like he should be in that business.
No, like that. For Lady in Black, it was two guys from my job. They were coworkers, and Chad, the main actor, I had done one other short film with him. I don't know. I just like in conversation with him, I just felt like I had the sense that he had a sense for acting, kind of that candid, being able to act like himself in front of camera. And so, yeah, he does a really good job, and he does a good job of like giving himself notes in between takes. He's like, oh, that didn't feel right or whatever. And so, yeah.
Okay. Well, he was pretty good, so that's a good thing.
Yeah.
So where are you from exactly?
I'm from Washington, near Seattle. I'm in like Snohomish, so kind of
Okay.
out in the sticks a little bit.
Okay. What time is it right now for you?
It is 5:14 right now.
Oh, not bad. Okay. It's early.
Yeah.
Okay. When did you start making movies?
I started making movies when I don't know. I was pretty young. Like we would take like my dad's phone or his camera or something and just shoot stupid movies, and then he would edit them in like iMovie, and then eventually I started using my phone and editing them on like software on my phone and that sort of thing, and it kind of sparked that idea. I think I first realized I wanted to do filmmaking when I encountered because like I was always doing skits and stuff, but I didn't really fully realize this is what I want to do. It's just something that's fun. But I found like I wanted to make a lightsaber effect in a video, and so I looked up a video.
We all start there.
Yeah, everyone starts with the lightsaber effect. And I found a Film Riot video, and then just kind of dove down the deep hole.
Did you also know how were they called? It's not Indie Mogul. Were you listening to that?
Yeah, I've seen some of that.
Francis, were you listening to that early on? That was.
Nope.
They were the first big filmmaking YouTubers. Their channel is much less big now, but much smaller now, but they're still going.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I never saw. Well, maybe I've seen some movies like, but never really put attention to the channel though. Not before I started doing those TV shows with you, Dylan. Actually, was never on YouTube before. Who's your best? Who's your biggest inspiration as a filmmaker?
I'd probably say like Ryan Connolly, who runs Film Riot, because
Really?
like there are directors who are, I'm a bigger fan of other directors and their work, but as far as directing,
He's had a
influence,
bigger influence on you.
yeah, like I mean, I think if he was able to see how many young filmmakers he's influenced, it would be pretty crazy. But as
I'm
far as like,
sure he has some knowledge of how influential he's been on the lives of young filmmakers. I'll show his face to just in case you guys, some of you guys don't know him. Here you go. Ryan Conley. So this guy, yeah, he also had some influence on me. I won't say he. I won't say he's the greatest filmmaker, in my opinion, but like you say, I've watched a lot of his videos, and he's had some influence on me. So
Okay.
So
Yeah,
we're doing
that's good.
an ad for them apparently now.
So don't forget the Black Friday sale, Triumph Digital, 40% off new products.
Oh, by the way, while I'm at it, I'm sorry to interject for during the discussion, but I have to do a shout out to Little Wars TV as well. I was about to forget it. Little Wars TV are doing an awards show of war games, so
Oh, okay.
you can look at
Yeah,
that if you're interested in wargaming.
and since we're doing the battle for
Yeah, just because I've had a few discussions with them and they're super chill, so I had to mention them.
Okay, so actually the next question is more towards the film itself. Did you have a budget on it, and what was it?
I've never really had. It's usually just all been passion project stuff, so the budget's been like nothing. Like I've spent what I've needed to spend. So like, you know, whether it's like little props or something or whatever. Yeah.
Okay, it's not bad. We always ask this question because we can go from like a huge budget to someone spending less than $10 on it, and it's funny to see
And
all the difference.
I
and what...
always say that when you get a $10 budget, you're lying, because everyone spends more than $10 on the film unless you really did it. Okay, I spent less than $10 on Void. Okay, I was on my own in my living room and I had no props. So I think
total, my guess for the total budget for Lady in Black, like money I spent specifically on the project, was probably like $60. And then for She Knows, it was like $15. Because all I got was the bucket of fake blood, and that's pretty much what that film cost me. So,
did you have a crew at all, or?
no, that was pretty much just me.
Because if you paid
Lady
the
in Black-
food for the actors, that's an expense for the film.
Yeah, well, it was different with both of them because Lady in Black was like a night shoot that didn't go on super long. Like it was from 8 to 1 or something, so there wasn't really a meal. And then She Knows was kind of just sporadically shot in like afternoons and nights and that sort of thing. So
Okay. So
Yeah,
it's
we're
really
we're
indie.
always asking because the damn craft is so expensive.
yeah,
It's always a craft.
yeah.
for the small budgets.
Yeah, for the small budget, the craft is a killer, man. It's horrible. Actually, you probably have more film than you have on your YouTube channel, or like since you've been doing some for a long time. But if you have to think about it, what is the funniest thing that has ever happened while shooting?
That's hard to say. It was pretty funny on She Knows, because um, we shot that one at my parents' house, and my little brother was there, and we needed a flickering effect on the on Josh's face when he was sleeping, like the TV
Yeah.
flickering while he was sleeping, and so we went through like a couple different options, but then we just gave my little brother a badminton racket, and he was like sitting there like just waving it aggressively in front of the light. That was fun. Yeah.
Magic. The magic in movies.
Yeah.
Just
It's
give
not
a
always
racket
that
to
magical.
your little brother. That's
Yeah.
that's the solution.
There's the
That's
15
great.
bucks.
Yeah.
What is your favorite genre of movies? And if you have to name a top 3, what would they be?
Favorite genre. I really like anything like thrillers, whether it's like an action thriller or psychological thriller. I don't know, it's kind of hard to put it all in one genre, but I really like action stuff. I like in between stuff, like between horror and action, or I don't know, I like it all.
Anything
I like
between horror and action. So
yeah.
that's the
That's my
spectrum.
Yeah.
Are they at the beginning and the end so that everything is inside?
Yeah. Favorite movies. It's hard to choose 3.
It's always hard.
I really like, it's kind of like the classic 13-year-old choice, but I like Inception, The Dark Knight. Both of those, I can't really choose which one I like more. But both of those I really, really like. I really like the ambience and the music and how Inception was written and everything. I thought it was super cool. I also like Heat. Have you guys seen Heat?
Eat?
I
When
don't
you say
think
eat, is
I
it
watched
heat
it.
like HEAT or EAT?
HEAT. Yeah, it's like this. It was made in the '90s with like Robert De Niro and Al Pacino. It's like
Oh, okay. Yeah.
it's a heist movie. Well, yeah, it's like a crime thriller, I guess, but that one's super cool. I don't know. I'm having trouble picking a third one.
So you
Let's just say,
you well, you already said 3 movies. So Dark
Yeah.
Knight,
Yeah.
Inception, and Heat.
yeah, there you go.
Yep. Okay. Well,
So
that's
Emilio is asking, what's our favorite genre of literature? And
I'd say
I'm gonna start because, as you already know, Emilio, I don't like to read. I read by obligation. So my favorite genre would be fantasy, I guess, or I don't know. That's all I read. Well, I've been reading documentary. Well, do you say documentary for literature?
I don't know, man. But yeah, I guess you could say documentary.
Historical information. That's what I've been reading lately. Very boring stuff. And I now have the statistics of what was the percentage of doctors in the population of the 1800s in French Canada.
And now
I know that.
It's like the first episode of The Office now. Like when Jim is just sitting, he's just like, I have all this useless knowledge that I don't know what I'm gonna do with.
Yeah.
So Francis, what's your favorite literature?
I'd say sci-fi and fantasy mainly. My favorite are Terry Goodkind, which passed away a couple months ago, I think 2 months ago, unfortunately. But he actually managed to finish Children of Dara, so pretty happy with that. But still a big loss in the literature. And my second is actually Ernest Cline from Ready Player One, Armada, and now Ready Player Two, which just came out like 2 days ago or 3. So yeah, those are
And
pretty much my
Spencer,
favorite.
so what literature do you prefer? What genre?
I'm similar to you in the way that I read usually under obligation rather than in my free time. But I have bought a couple fiction books, and usually it's like a crime thriller or horror. Probably is what I'm most attracted to reading.
Yeah, you should. Did you try Stephen King?
I've read a little bit of Stephen King. I started reading It. I was gonna read It before I watched the movies, and then I got like 60 pages in, and I'm just lazy when it comes to reading. So it's just
I totally understand.
He's
That's
pretty
why
easy
audiobooks
to...
were invented.
yeah, exactly.
You should try Misery.
So if you want to get an
The-
audiobook, we have a
Not bad.
sponsored link in the description, and you can get Shadow of the Conqueror for free
Yeah.
by signing up to Audible. So,
Look at that.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's promote Shadow of the Conqueror while we're there.
A little plug.
So you also have your own like production company, which is more like, well, your website under your name, and then you do some work. What's your production centered around? Like, what do you do mostly?
It's kind of been whatever people want me to do. So like I've done music videos, I've done corporate stuff, I've done kind of documentary style stuff. The main passion is like narrative stuff, short films. That's what I like doing, and that's what I want to do. But I feel like I'm also just talent. I like to think I have a natural talent for videography, and so I just kind of pursue that.
I'm happy to know you then. I don't have a talent, so
God damn it.
I have
That's
a big
from your-
determination. That's what I have.
Hey, that's all that matters.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we all need a producer. Someone that gets people.
Yeah.
I don't remember if it was on your website, but was there the music video over there? I think you had, but I'm not sure.
Music video.
On your website.
Oh well, I shot some stuff for my reel, like videos of like drumming and guitar playing and stuff like that to put in my reel. But that actually didn't belong to a music video. It's just kind of like I wanted certain shots for my reel, and so I went out and I shot those specific shots.
Good. Actually, well, we're gonna go with the second movie because there's a question about the main actor of that second movie, because I've seen it on your reel, I've seen it on that movie, and I'm just like, who is he? He's in everything. So we're gonna show the second movie, which is you named it. Damn it.
She knows.
She knows. Yeah, I had Lady in Black, and I don't know why.
Well, Francis doesn't know, so we're gonna see if she knows. So here we go.
Be on the lookout. Police in Texas are looking for this 14-year-old girl, and they say could be in serious danger. She was last seen on January 27th. That's when a girl's parents say they last heard from their daughter when she texted them from school. On Friday, the community held a prayer service praying for the girl's safe return.
Rage, intolerance, anger. It's what a lot of Americans are feeling across our nation right now. But right now is a moment we can all...
Hey, man.
What's up?
I was just calling to check in and see how you are.
I'm alright. How about you?
I'm good. I was just wondering where you put her.
What?
Where did you put her?
What do you mean?
Where did you put her? 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 Where did you put her?
So who's Josh? Who is he?
Josh is, we've been best friends since like second grade. So he's just been like my go-to for everything. So, yeah, like you'll see in, what did I call it? Night Visit. He was in that one just because I'm like, I needed an actor. Ideally, you have like a friend or something you can be chill with. And he also does soundtrack stuff. We're both interested in music. And so yeah, we both worked on composing the soundtrack for She Knows. There's a short film I made for a proof of concept that was the first one we did where he composed the whole thing. Like it was actually kind of a director and composer relationship where I just kind of gave him notes and then he would work on stuff and send it back to me. But yeah, so he's just been involved with everything, whether it's like little shots I needed for my reel or like, That's
Yeah, well, you need to surround yourself with people like that. Reliable, good people. This is the most important thing. So yeah, that's cool. Okay. So Emilio was asking what were our hobbies. He's a trained fanatic. Well, for my part, mostly, I have no hobbies. No. Well, mostly all my hobbies are done in groups, so it's pretty hard right now since the pandemic. But board game, uh, sports, pretty much,
Sports
and
What
filmmaking,
sports?
hockey mainly,
Hockey. You play
basketball.
hockey? I didn't even know.
Yeah, yeah, man. I play hockey. Well, I played football, soccer,
American football.
and yeah, American football. And I played soccer, European football. um, so yeah, mostly it all includes a lot of people, so I can't practice any of that, and even filmmaking. Yeah, right now my girlfriend doesn't like to be in front of the camera, and she's the only person with who I can film, apart from my son that will not
I
cooperate.
have the exact same problem.
Yeah, you have a son that doesn't cooperate.
No, I meant my girlfriend doesn't like the camera. So
Yeah, now she's gonna notice you turned it in about 15 seconds.
yeah, something like that. My hobbies are mainly doing stuff. So I can't stop working on different projects. So I'm working on Shadow of the Conqueror, on Battle for Diratia, on our short films.
Yeah,
And
that we will be announcing next week.
yeah, we have a few things that we're gonna talk about next week. But apart from that, normally I have a weekly game of role playing. But again, well, like Francis, right now it's not really. And same thing, I also do a kung fu, and there's not a lot of that right now.
What about you, Spencer? You talked about guitar, drums, music.
Yeah, my main hobby outside of film is definitely guitar, music in general. I've been playing guitar since I was like 10, and yeah, I just really enjoy. There's nothing more relaxing than like sitting down with the guitar and like a loop pedal and just jamming out. So that's what I like to do.
That you can do alone. That's
Yeah,
That's a nice thing.
so I've
Yeah,
got more practice time in.
yeah. I need to repair mine actually, or actually just buy a new one. I'm due for a new guitar, but I haven't played in like 6 months. It's a horrible time. But damn it, I had a question. I forgot about it. How old are you? Exactly. You look pretty young, but
You guys gotta guess how old I am before I tell you.
okay. I'm gonna say 23.
oh, yeah, I was around that same age, but I'd say 21.
I'm 19 years old.
Oh god damn, you're young, man. Okay, okay. Did you finish your study? Are you still studying?
Well, I finished high school. I'm not super excited about the idea of going to film school.
Don't.
I feel like
That's my opinion.
yeah.
Do whatever you like, but I'm against paying for film school.
Yeah, and I feel like either way, I'm gonna have to make a film. Like, no one's gonna, hire me to direct a movie just because I went to film school. They're gonna hire me to direct a movie because I made a good movie. So I'm like,
Yeah,
might as well just skip the thousands of dollars in debt and just try and make a good movie.
I agree
Yeah,
with
the
that.
only reason why I went to school for that was to get contacts. It's the only reason.
Did you get
I've learned-
contacts?
I've learned a bunch, but
Did you
actually,
get
I mean-
contacts?
yeah, I have contacts now.
Contacts in the industry?
Well, there one of my teacher had his own production company. Well, he also do. He has his own production company. He's directing a lot of stuff, and he's also a
Did you get a
director of
job from
photography.
that? That's my question.
Oh no, I gotta get, well, it did get me a job with you though, because if I never went to school, I would have never found the groups in which you posted the announce.
Well, you could have done that
So,
by a search on Facebook, not.
yeah, but I didn't have the confidence neither at that time. So see, it did bring something. So and I learned about a lot about directing and all the subtleties that you don't know about when you watch a movie. You
Hmm.
know those that I point out that you're like, yeah, I don't look a movie like I don't watch a movie that way.
Me?
Yeah,
I
you
went
know
to
all the little things.
I went to film
the-
school for like 4 years.
Yeah, that's too long. It took me 1 year. What the fuck were you doing?
Because I did 2 schools. And I was working on sets at the same time.
Yeah, you see, you learn pretty much more on the set, right? That's where we
Yeah,
learn the most.
that's why that's why I said that I didn't believe in film school.
Well, it depends on what you're planning on doing. Like you don't need film school if you want to be a tech, that's for sure. You can learn that directly on the set, but if you want to be a good director, you need to learn the basics of directing. That's one thing. You can learn it on YouTube, obviously, but there's nothing like having a really good teacher that you can contact anytime. So, yeah. So shout out to John.
So,
Which is a master Jedi.
anyways, there's one fact that is that not everyone learns the same way, and
Also,
you need to know about yourself and know how you learn, and go with what's gonna be best for you.
Yep, exactly.
Okay, let's stop the philosophical questions about if the education system and
Well, you
let's
see, we
talk
talked
about
about
movies.
it, and Emilio was just like, I was about to ask if he did movies for college before you said that. So we skipped a question by doing it. Okay. Actually, where do you see your company in 10 years or yourself in 10 years? That's an even harder question since in the business there's no certainty.
I'd like to
10 years, that's far. That 10 years is too far. What?
I'd like to have directed 3 feature films in 10 years. And I'd like at least one of them to be on Netflix. That's my off the cuff goal for 10 years from now.
Okay, I agree with it being your goals. I don't agree with where do you think you will be. So rephrase the question, Francis, next time. Where?
Okay.
What are your hopes and goals
yeah.
for? I would go with for 5 years. 10 years is far, man.
So where I think I'll be in 5 years?
He's 19. In 10 years, it's not that far.
A lot of things can happen in 10 years.
It's true.
Look, okay, I'm just gonna be quick. In 3 years, I've created a team, filmed 6 short films with them. The team broke up, and I had time to write a script and get the permission to direct Shadow of the Conqueror and build the whole team for that in 3 years. So I had two filmmaking teams in 3 years.
Yeah, now you need to stick with the last one though.
Yeah, I hope it just depends on you guys.
Yeah. So yeah, in 5 years, at least one feature.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd like where I see myself in 5 years.
Where do you hope you'll be?
I hope. Oh, I don't know. Where I see myself is kind of defined as my goals, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, I'd like to see myself as I'd like to think I'd be a feature film director in 5 years, and that'd be my vocation.
That's a good goal.
Yeah.
Yep.
Francis, what are your goals? Because
Yeah. Well, if we could actually be able to do Shadow of the Conqueror before the end of the world, that would be good. But we have to wait for the pandemic. But
So,
yeah, my goals, yeah, feature film for sure. Hopefully, we'll be doing a feature of Shadow of the Conqueror within those 5 years. That
if
would be
we get
nice.
the
But
budget.
otherwise,
If not, I have the other
if
film that I'm writing now.
yeah,
That's
and
a good
apart from
contender.
that, yeah, in 5 years, yeah, I hope that I will be able to create an iconic murderer. So a really good horror film with an iconic murderer. That would be my goal within those 5 years. And if I get to be like directing more feature films, yeah, I'll take that too. Like I said, main goal, do a superhero film just because this is the big thing right now. And after that, anything else. Now you're playing with all the screens.
Yeah,
You mess with me.
I'm not messing with
Okay.
you. I was just getting ready in case you ask my goals.
Oh, you want me to ask your goals? What
No,
are your goals,
You don't.
Dylan?
You don't have to.
I did.
Okay. So my goals for in 5 years is to be owners of 36 apartments. To be the owner of a nice company with that people want to work at. To have $100,000 of revenue per year, and to be black belt in kung fu, and yeah, that's about it.
And you didn't name Battle for Diratia?
It's part of the
Okay.
it's part of the package.
Okay.
I didn't
Emilio
talk about
asked-
any films either.
No, true. But we have a lot
But
coming.
it's all part of the where I'm going with that. So
Yeah, because this needs to go like the right way so that we get all the other parts
yeah,
slowly. Emilio asked which is better, and he's asking Spencer and maybe us. But Spencer, debut of a film at a film festival or YouTube premiere of that same film?
I definitely prefer film festival. I mean, if COVID wasn't happening, I think there's something I still haven't been able to like sit down and have one of my films screened in a big full theater, which I think would be really fun. So ideally, I mean, you get definitely more viewership if you premiered it on YouTube, probably, because. From She Knows, my channel kind of like blew up a little bit. So now I have some viewership, but I still think it'd be cool to be in person.
I think, okay, my answer is going to be it all depends on the viewership. Because if I'm going to have 10 views on YouTube, I'll go with the festival. And if I have 100,000 views on YouTube, then I'll go with YouTube. That's my answer. It's what
would-
gets the most exposure. And
Yeah, me would depend on the movie actually. Like if it's more a drama movie that suits best for festival, I would probably go with festival. But apart from that, any horror movie stuff like that, I don't believe that festivals are that worth it for that kind of movies.
Unless it's a big festival.
If it fits in a big festival, why not? Like I would probably try to send it in big festivals just to see if it gets in. If it does, well, great. If it doesn't, I would just skip and go with YouTube because yeah, YouTube can bring a lot more than the smaller festival. Like we have some festival here in Montreal, which is like one of them is Fantasia, which is mainly horror films and sci-fi and stuff like that. But like, I don't think I would even send it there. Like, unless they give me the right to show it everywhere I want to, because sometimes you have to put it on hold for like 6 months. So that's the worst part, I think. I'm like I'm too quick with those kind of things. I can't wait. But yep, yeah. Fix your merch site, Dylan.
It's working.
Okay. I'll test it later.
Police, open up!
Let's be honest.
Ooh.
Surgeon John was really in a bad mood that day.
So the police showed up, right? Or did they?
Who knows? There's only one person that knows. She knows.
I see.
But
What
that's
you
it.
did.
Yeah. Is it the same monster?
Yeah, they
Yeah, dude.
look alike a bit. Well, we don't see them.
Well, the
Super
main actor
well,
are the
but-
same.
Yeah. Yeah. The monsters like to pick on the same people. I guess that's the correlation. Yeah. The idea for that one was like, whatever the creature is can duplicate or deceive. What they so like takes the voice of a police officer or something to get him to open the door. But yeah, that one was the first horror thing I attempted, and I'm glad I did it. I think I'd do a lot of it differently if I would have done it all today, but yeah, and I think one of the main issues with that one was that stair scene. I color graded it too dark for YouTube, and YouTube compresses it, so people like majority of people probably can't see. But the reason he runs into the room is because the monster, whoever it is like speed walking up the stairs toward him, but you can't really see it very well in the dark. So.
Did you have a question first, Francis? I have a question that is on topic and that I think is interesting. But if you have any questions before, I want you to.
No, right there. Go
Okay.
go with it.
So I think both of you are going to be interested in that. So, what was the logic behind? Are those the three monsters that we saw based on the same thing, or not? And how do you think about the logic of a monster?
So you're talking about the three monsters in each of the
Yep.
three films we watched. I would say no. There's no connection, like
Yeah.
no connected monster universe or anything I've been developing. It's just kind of what each monster was. There were parts. So this is kind of a bit of a tangent, but for the Lady in Black, that one was interesting because I had a script, obviously, planned it out that was totally different than what you see in the actual film, because we got there and Justin, who was the other main character, he's Ryan. He had to leave early, and I didn't know until like we got there. He was supposed to be there for longer, and he only had a little bit of time, and so it's just like, we like brainstormed, and I took small elements of what the original film would be, or was going to be, but we threw a lot of it out of the window, but that's just to say that the Lady in Black, I guess the correlation between all three monsters is they all have the ability to deceive you with their voice.
Okay, no.
What's that?
I was asking teleporting or something like that.
Well, yeah, maybe. But like there was going to be a scene in Lady in Black where Chad's character is in the shop and the lights are off, and you start to hear Justin's character's voice from the corner of the shop being like, I don't feel very good, like, and you hear like footsteps walking toward him and that sort of thing. But it's the Lady in Black. It's just, she's kind of deceiving him. And then there's the scene in She Knows, the bathroom scene where there's like crying at first that turns to laughing. Yeah. And then the police open up thing in Night Visit. So I guess all three films have
deception.
Yeah.
So Francis, what logic do you use when you are working on some monsters?
Well, it's pretty hard to say because so far I have a lot of them in my mind, but mostly they are more psychopath than monsters. But I think I like to take something that people think is nice and make it the worst thing it can be. Like usually people, like a bit like It was created. Like at some point you take a clown, people likes clown, and it turns out to be a freaking nightmare. And most of the like usually the worst creature comes from this idea that people feel safe usually with those kind of personalities, but in the end they turn out to be like total psychos. Like when I've been working on that I really want to do is actually a movie that would be a feature thriller horror, which is a mishmash of Saw and The Illusionist, which so actually the murderer is an illusionist. But
okay, so my point, I'm sorry because even Emilio said it in the chat, I think I interrupt you sometimes, so I just want to apologize. The thinking behind my question was that in the few short films that we've seen in these shows, a lot of times I see that the monsters don't seem like they have any objectives, I'm gonna say.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like a few of them have or seem to have, and we don't know in Spencer, in your films, we don't know what happens to the person afterwards. We assume that they die or something like that, because we don't see what happens to the person. But what my meaning is that if the goal of the creature or the monster or the psychopath or the evil guy, whatever, is to kill someone, there are some actions that don't necessarily make sense in some short films. And I'm not pointing specifically at your short film, Spencer's. I'm just talking widely about monsters in horror.
I'd say it's
short
pretty
films.
hard. I think it's pretty hard to create a monster, like a short film, an horror short film, where the monster, where you can actually explain the monster's goal. Most of the time, if you want to do a short film,
well, I think I'm gonna point out the second one that we've watched. So it's She Knows. I'm guessing. So what I'm understanding, what I might be wrong, but it looks like the guy hit a woman at first with the car. Is that it? And then she haunts him in some way afterwards. So that I think is a clearer goal, because we see that it's like a ghost or someone that's haunting him because they want to kill him, I assume, and get back to him for what they've done. But
I understand what you're saying. I think the one so She Knows, there was a motivation from the monster, which was, well, part of it was the main character's mind messing with him. Part of it was the creature, sort of like revenge as their motivation. For Night Visit, that was just kind of, that one could be argued there wasn't really motivation behind the creature.
Yeah, I don't blame you at all for that. I'm just I'm just giving a question, a wide question, not just to you, but to any filmmaker that's doing our horror, where in most films you're gonna think about what that character's motivation is, and you're gonna think about what they do to accomplish their goal. And sometimes I feel, since some filmmakers, and like you've just said, for some of your films you didn't even do it for your monsters, since you don't know what their goals are, you don't know necessarily how they should act towards their goal.
They're definitely,
so they're just haunting someone to haunt them. And for me, who's like a logic guy, I have a
well, mainly a short film doesn't help. I think, like, if you look at Lights Out, which was a short film before being a feature, it's actually just a shadow hunting a man and then killing him. But if you look at the feature, the shadow is actually hunting unfaithful men. So there is a certain logic in it. But I can say, though, that lately our movies do not have that much logic behind them, I think. Like, if you look at Psycho, there's a logic in why he's killing people. He's just a psycho, obviously. But if you watch Halloween, he tries to kill his sister. Friday the 13th, mainly he kills people that goes to the camp because the people that went to the camp when he was there actually killed him. So it's like a revenge story.
Just to make sure I'm clear,
likes kids.
Just to make sure I'm clear, I'm gonna give an example. Right now I'm watching Walking Dead. I'm rewatching Walking Dead, actually, and like the monsters in Walking Dead mainly are the zombies, let's say, and you know how a zombie will act, like they will react to sound and things that move, and they won't teleport from one place to another. And I think it's more of the monster acting in a logical way. I don't know if I express myself correctly here. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, Francis.
I think I understand what you're saying.
To have like parameters of what the monster's powers, what their capabilities are, and to make sure that they use them to logically. Like if you have a monster that can teleport anywhere, anytime at will, why don't they just, and their goal is to kill someone, why don't they just teleport next to that person and stab them in the back?
Mm-hmm. But there you run into
if you have
problem.
some kind of explanation why or something else, and the explanation might just be they can't teleport within X distance of a living person or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That
I think
could be.
Oftentimes the explanation is, well, there wouldn't be as exciting. Like that's pretty much like, you know, you have an act.
It wouldn't be as suspenseful. You wouldn't
Yeah.
worry as much for the character. But
Like-
I think that it's just
Dylan, let him speak, Dylan.
sorry, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm sorry. It's just that I think that you can still make suspense and make the audience afraid for the life of the character without being illogical. That's my argument.
That's true. That's a good goal. I think, well, kind of
It's
two
it's
things.
my personal thing. You don't
You
have
did it
to...
again. You did it again, Dylan.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
Go ahead, Spencer. Go ahead.
No, it's all good. I think, like two things. Like, you have the classic, especially horror movies, run into this problem where it's like, okay, at this point, there's a creepy sound coming from the house, and this guy walks toward the house. Like, why would he ever do that? And it's like, okay, well, let's imagine the movie if he just walked away. It's like, okay, well, that's it. Like, there's obviously you want people to be on board. Don't have to suspend too much disbelief for your movie. But I think depending on the genre, depending on what's happening in the movie, you might have to make sacrifices. But I also was going to say about like Lights Out. Lights Out is a great short film, but I also think it inspired a series of like a whole bunch of young filmmakers or just filmmakers in general on YouTube making monster horror short films that like the motivation of the monster is its thing, if that makes sense. Like this monster only shows up in mirrors, or this monster only shows up in photographs or whatever. Like that's the thing, rather than why the monster is showing up. Like it might be more interesting if like a photographer's, you know, he's a serial killer or something and he's a photographer and now his victims are showing up in random photos or whatever it is. Like that would make more sense rather than a monster. Like that could be part of it, but it usually ends up being the thing for a lot of the thing that defines the monster in a lot of YouTube stuff. So like Night Visit fell under that category, I think, where it's just kind of like a monster being a monster. The original version of Lady in Black, there was more of a motivation behind it. I'm thinking I'm going to make a video where I might release a download of that script just so people can see how many changes were made. But still, Lady in Black ended up being kind of just a monster being a monster short film because of changes that we had to make. But then I think She Knows was one where I was able to give motivation behind the monster and actually give it a reason for existing. So, yeah.
Oh, Anime Keller. Hello. Okay.
Uh,
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
but
but
it's
I think from one thing you said, just the logic of like a monster showing up only in photos or something like that.
Mhm.
Just that I think is very cool, and as long as you stay consistent with that rule that you set for the monster, I think that's like the minimum that you should have some rule. You don't even have they don't need to be hard rules, but you need to have some guidelines that you create to for yourself, like this monster can do this but they cannot do that, no matter the logic behind it,
Hmm.
because that way you stay consistent with what the monster is gonna do during the film, no matter
actually,
how short it is.
I have a good question because you mentioned monsters in photograph, but did you watch the movie Shutter?
I've not seen it. No.
It's not the best horror film, but I liked it a lot, and the punchline is really good, and it includes photograph. So I do recommend it to you and to anyone in the chat. Not Dylan because I know you won't watch it, but I recommend it. And I also do recommend everyone that is watching or will be watching in the future to go on Spencer's Killer YouTube channel and watch the trailer he made for a contest, which is named The Prophet. We won't show it because the footage comes from a bank of footage that we don't know if we can show them. But
Well,
it is amazing.
yeah.
Like it is a really good trailer. Like way too good in my opinion because I was looking for the freaking film afterwards. So yeah, you
Uh,
need to do that film.
I will. Uh, the proof of concept. I made a proof of concept short film recently, within the past couple months, for Film Riot's Make Film Challenge, like their proof of concept challenge.
Yeah.
And that one, I think I'm gonna make an extended version. There are just a couple things with a 4-minute time limit where you're like, you're just cutting this dialogue down. You want it tight, but there's a certain point where you're like, I'm not even allowing these moments to breathe or anything. So I'm gonna probably release an extended version of that, and that one falls kind of in the same category as the trailer I made. So yeah.
Nice. I'll be waiting for that. And Emilio had a question before we finish, because he's been asking that to every person that comes on the show. So, would you work with Crypt TV if given the chance?
I've heard of Crypt TV. I haven't watched a lot of Crypt TV, but my limited knowledge of them, I would probably be down. If anyone's offering me some opportunity to make narrative content as a job, I'm down. I'll do it.
Did you have, before we end, any offers you wanted to do to Spencer Francis?
Yeah, well, actually, yeah, if you do have a release coming or anything, and that you would like to have a live release or live premiere, we're there for that. And we did some. We also offered to our last guest that if you at some point, like for example, you do a proof of concept for the Prophet, but you don't get picked by anyone, but you would like to still make it, we're willing also to help for a Kickstarter. We did do the Kickstarter for Shadow of the Conqueror, and we raised more than enough for it. It did help that it came from a known novel, well, semi-known novel. But there's a lot of work behind the Kickstarter, and we're willing to help too because, well, I liked the trailer, and I would love to participate in the making of.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate that.
So yeah, that's pretty much it for me tonight.
I'll let Francis do the conclusion, and we'll end it here.
So yeah, thanks a lot for being there. Thanks to everyone for watching. Not many of you tonight, but yeah, like was saying in the chat, probably Black Friday didn't help. It's Black Friday, right? I'm
Yeah,
mistaking them
it
all
is.
now. It's just all they're all the same to me now in retail.
It's
All
yeah.
of
I
them.
was joking about it this week. It's not Black Friday anymore. It's the Black Week and then the Cyber Week after it. So
And then you have the Boxing Month, and it's,
Yeah.
it sells all around. So yeah, it probably didn't help. People are buying stuff for cheap, so I understand that. But thanks for being here. Thanks Emilio. Thanks Anna for stopping by, and we'll see you next week on Filmmaking with, where we have a couple of announcements for some short film that we're working on, some advancement for Shadow of the Conqueror. And many more things to talk about. And in 2 weeks with our next guest that I have no damn memory for names, and I'm sorry about that if you're watching, guest.
I'm gonna get it.
so
I'm gonna
bad
get
at
it.
Names.
Sorry. Okay, so next
Tristan
week-
TA.
yeah.
Tristan.
next week.
Yeah. In 2 weeks.
Tristan
not next week.
Terrien I'll stream. So if you want to see another interview with another great filmmaker, come and watch.
And a
the show
young
in 2
one
weeks.
again. He's pretty young. I think he's younger than Spencer. So anyway, thanks for being here. Thanks, Spencer, for your time, and we'll see you next week, guys.
Awesome.